Have you ever noticed how quickly people gather when someone makes a mistake online? A celebrity says the wrong thing, an influencer gets exposed, a public figure slips up. Suddenly, thousands of people are watching, commenting, sharing, reacting, and sometimes, if we're honest, we feel a strange sense of satisfaction. But why does someone else's failure feel so interesting? Psychologically speaking, this reaction is more common than we like to admit. Imagine this: a popular influencer posts a video that feels slightly tone deaf. Maybe they complain about a small inconvenience that most people can't relate to. Within hours, the comments begin to change. First, people politely disagree. Then someone points out hypocrisy. Another person finds an old tweet. A reaction video appears. A hashtag starts trending. And suddenly, thousands of people are watching this person's reputation slowly unravel. We've seen this pattern many times. For example, when Logan Paul faced global backlash after posting a controversial video filmed in Japan's Aokigahara forest, millions of viewers who had never followed his content suddenly became emotionally invested in the outcome. Or when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock during the 94th Academy Awards, the moment spread across the internet within minutes, triggering debates, reactions, memes, and endless commentary. People who had never shown interest in award ceremonies suddenly had strong opinions. Views increased, engagement exploded, and even those who claimed they disliked drama somehow still followed the story until the end, because from a social psychology perspective, watching others fail triggers several deeply human psychological reactions, and most of them operate below conscious awareness. Human nature often leads people to compare themselves with others. We constantly look for signals again about where we stand socially. Are we successful enough, smart enough, respected enough, secure enough? When someone else fails publicly, it quietly answers some of those questions, not logically, but emotionally. It temporarily changes how we see ourselves. It shifts our sense of position in the social world. And that shift can feel strangely comforting. Let's explore 5 psychological reasons why people secretly enjoy watching others fail. The first reason is social comparison. Humans naturally compare themselves to the people around them. We compare income, appearance, lifestyle, intelligence, popularity, and achievements. Most of the time, we compare upward toward people who seem more successful. And upward comparison often makes us feel inadequate. But when someone who seems successful suddenly fails, something interesting happens. The comparison flips. We think, maybe I'm not doing so bad after all. For example, when billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk faced heavy criticism after chaotic changes to Twitter, many online users openly mocked the situation, sharing jokes about management decisions and public statements. Even people who had never run a company suddenly felt more confident in their own judgment. Their problems felt smaller. Their lives felt more stable. The failure of someone else can create a temporary sense of emotional relief, not because we want them to suffer, but because comparison is built into human psychology, and failure changes the comparison. The second reason is status rebalancing. Society constantly signals who is winning and who is losing. We see symbols of status everywhere: followers, wealth, influence, recognition, success. When someone appears far above us socially, it can create quiet tension. We may admire them, but we may also feel distant from them. Their success can make our own progress feel slower But when a high-status person fails, the hierarchy temporarily shifts, the distance feels smaller, the social gap feels less intimidating. For example, when cryptocurrency entrepreneur Sam Bankman-Fried went from being seen as a financial genius to facing legal collapse after the fall of FTX, many people followed the story closely. The dramatic change in status was psychologically striking. Someone once considered highly powerful suddenly appeared vulnerable. From a psychological perspective, humans often prefer social environments that feel balanced. Extreme differences in status can create discomfort. So when a powerful person experiences a setback, it can feel like the system has become more fair. Again, even if we don't consciously think this way. The third reason is moral validation. People like to believe that actions have consequences, that good behavior leads to good outcomes, and bad behavior eventually leads to problems. When someone behaves arrogantly, dishonestly, or irresponsibly, we often expect some kind of correction. So when that correction happens publicly, it reinforces, our sense of moral order. It feels like justice. For example, cyclist Lance Armstrong was once celebrated as a symbol of determination and resilience. But when investigations revealed long-term doping, public perception shifted dramatically. Many people felt disappointed, but others felt that the outcome restored a sense of fairness in competitive sports. Psychologically speaking, people feel more secure when they believe that fairness still exists. Watching consequences unfold can strengthen that belief, even when the situation is complex. The fourth reason is emotional distance. Watching someone else fail creates psychological space. We observe the situation from the outside. We imagine what it would feel like, but we are not the ones experiencing the consequences. This creates a powerful effect. It allows us to explore fear without actually being in danger. We think, what would I do in that situation? How would I avoid that mistake? What would I say if that happened to me? For example, when former Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes faced fraud charges, and after years of media praise, many viewers became fascinated by the story. People analyzed interviews, speeches, and decisions. They tried to understand how confidence can sometimes cross into deception. In this way, other people's failures can act like social learning experiences. They show us what happens when certain risks go wrong. And learning from observation feels safer than learning from personal mistakes. So part of the attention toward public failure, it comes from curiosity, not cruelty. We want to understand the boundaries that of acceptable behavior. We want to know what not to do. And sometimes watching someone else fail feels like gathering useful information. The fifth reason is collective emotion. Emotions become stronger when they are shared. Online spaces amplify this effect. When thousands of people react to the same situation at the same time, emotions can spread quickly. One comment leads to another. One reaction video leads to 10 more. People begin to feel part of a collective experience, and collective experiences feel meaningful. They create a sense of belonging, even if the shared focus, counted as it is negative. For example, during public controversies involving celebrities like Kanye West, millions of people discuss the same topic simultaneously across platforms. People read comments, share opinions, and observe how others react. Social psychology shows that humans often feel more confident in their opinions when they see others expressing the same reaction. Agreement creates psychological comfort. So when people see many others criticizing or reacting to someone's failure, and they feel more comfortable participating. It feels socially supported, and participation strengthens the emotional intensity of the situation. Modern technology amplifies all of these psychological tendencies. Social media platform reward content that creates strong emotional reactions. Outrage spreads quickly. Drama attracts attention. Controversy increases engagement. Algorithms often prioritize content that keeps people watching longer, and few things hold attention more effectively than uncertainty. When someone's reputation is changing in real time, people keep checking for updates. They want to know what happens next. The result is an environment where public mistakes become highly visible and highly discussed. In previous generations, many failures remained private or local. Today, mistakes can become global conversations within hours. Technology did not create these psychological tendencies, but it made them easier to see and easier to participate in. The uncomfortable truth is that most people do not truly enjoy seeing others suffer, but we do pay attention when someone falls, because human psychology is deeply social. We are constantly interpreting signals about status, fairness, belonging, and security. Other people's successes and failures provide information about how the world works. They help us understand where we stand. They influence how safe we feel in our own lives. And sometimes watching someone else struggle reminds us that nobody is completely immune to mistakes. In a strange way, public failure can make success feel more human, more fragile, more realistic. So the next time that you notice yourself paying attention to someone else's downfall, it may not be about cruelty. It may simply be a reflection of how strongly humans are wired to observe, compare, and learn from one another. Because understanding human behavior often begins with noticing the reactions we rarely talk about openly.